The birth of life, a philosophical exploration. Imagine for a moment a seed buried deep in the soil, completely dormant. It is untouched by sunlight, and it remains unaware of the shifting world around it. Yet over time, something invisible begins to stir. The natural elements, the warmth of the sun, the moisture in the earth, the nourishing soil, start to activate internal processes within the seed. Then, almost magically, it cracks open, and a small sprout timidly emerges from the earth, reaching for the light. This simple process, though incredibly complex, marks the beginning of a new life. This transformation from an inert seed to a living organism is more than just a physical change. It calls us to reflect on the very nature of life itself. Where does this ability to transition from inanimate to alive come from? How does a single cell evolve into a living being capable of reproducing, reacting, and adapting to its environment? What distinguishes a living organism from non-living matter? And how do we define the essence of life? The ancient Greek philosophers were among the first to explore these questions. Heraclitus, for example, believed that life was the result of a dynamic balance between opposing forces. He spoke of the unity of opposites, suggesting that life is born out of the tension and interaction between seemingly contradictory elements. For Heraclitus, life was not static. It was a constant process of change, driven by the harmony of opposites. Just like the seed that grows into a plant, life emerges from an ongoing process of balance and transformation. The life force, according to him, is not something that exists once and for all. It is something that is continuously in motion, constantly adapting and evolving. Plato, however, took a more idealistic view. In his work Timaeus, he proposed that the universe was created by a divine craftsman who shaped it according to eternal, perfect forms. For Plato, the birth of life was not an accident, nor was it merely a process of natural forces. It was a purposeful creation, guided by reason and divine order. Life, in this view, was a reflection of higher, unchanging truths, and the physical world was merely an imperfect copy of this divine realm. Life was, in essence, a manifestation of a higher order that transcended the material world. Aristotle, in contrast, had a more empirical approach. He believed that life could be understood through observation and scientific inquiry. Aristotle proposed that all living organisms contained a soul, a principle that animated the body and gave it purpose. This soul was not some immaterial force, but rather a natural and integral part of the organism. For Aristotle, life was not the result of divine creation or mystical forces, but an inherent aspect of the natural world. Living organisms were not separate from nature. They were part of the intricate web of life that connected all beings in a natural, purposeful system. Life, for Aristotle, emerged as a result of the interconnectedness of matter, form, and purpose. In modern times, scientists have sought to understand the origins of life through a more mechanistic lens. The theory of abiogenesis, for example, suggests that life arose from simple, non-living chemical compounds through a series of complex reactions. This theory proposes that under the right conditions, molecules like amino acids and nucleotides could have come together to form the first rudimentary forms of life. While this scientific explanation provides insight into the how of life's origins, it still leaves us with profound philosophical questions. What distinguishes a living organism from a non-living one? What is the spark that turns a collection of molecules into a conscious, self-replicating system? Can life truly emerge from mere chemistry, or is there an inherent quality of life that cannot be reduced to simple physical processes? Some philosophers, like René Descartes, focused on the relationship between mind and body, suggesting that life was not just a physical phenomenon, but something intrinsically connected to consciousness. Descartes famously said, "Cogito ergo sum," I think, therefore I am, which implies that the very essence of life is the ability to think and to reflect on one's own existence. According to Descartes, it is not enough for an organism to be alive biologically. It must also possess the capacity for self-awareness and reason. In this view, life is not just a biological process. It is deeply tied to the mind, to thought, and to the ability to engage with the world in a conscious, meaningful way. As we look deeper into the birth of life, we must also ask, what does it mean to be truly alive? Is life merely the result of complex chemical reactions, or is there something more to it? Can life, in all its complexity, be explained purely by biology, or is there a deeper essence at play? Is life simply a product of randomness, or is there an underlying order to it all? These questions take us beyond the realm of biology and into the domain of philosophy, where we must grapple with ideas of purpose, meaning, and existence itself. The birth of life remains one of the greatest mysteries of our existence. From the ancient philosophical musings of Heraclitus, Plato, and Aristotle, to the modern scientific theories of abiogenesis and evolution, the question of how life began continues to fascinate and challenge us. What do you think? Is life merely the result of random chemical processes, or is there something more to it? Do you believe that life is an accident of nature, or is it part of a greater cosmic design? Does consciousness play a role in the definition of life, or is it simply a biological phenomenon? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you're not subscribing to the Usafi channel, you're probably never going to see us again. But if you are, then congratulations, you're growing every day.